Spare fingers. Hi guys, welcome back to La Lucha's Bro podcast. Bro, who the...
I was trying to pump myself up.
La Lucha's Bro podcast. Asked. What is that? Like I said ass. Oh god. My name is... Wait. I forgot. You threw me off.
Did you forget your name?
Yes, I was like, ¿qué es mi nombre? I'm your host, Edith.
And I'm your host, Angel.
And we're dumb. Y'all, like right before this, like keep in mind if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see that we don't have our headphones on, right? So right before this, I'm like talking into the microphone and I'm like, Angel, can you hear me good? Do I sound good? And she's just looking at me like, bitch, does it look like I can hear you from the microphone? I was like, my bad. I don't know.
La costumbre.
Porque ya, mayoría de nuestros episodios, we've done it with our headphones, que no?
Yeah. Well, like, since we got the equipment, you know?
Exactly. So, but no, today we are here, dándole un little rest a nuestros ears.
Yeah, our ears are raw dogging it.
Yeah, and we're hoping that this is recording our audio.
I know.
We can't hear it.
But you know what's funny? One time, like, my microphone wasn't recording my voice, but, like, we could hear everything perfectly on the headphones. So it's kind of like...
Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What was the point of the headphones? Like, my voice wasn't even recording.
And I think that was a good episode too. No?
Oh, yeah, it was a good episode. But good thing I'm loud as fuck, and my voice carried onto your microphone.
Barely. Anyways, me siento perdida un poco porque no tengo los audífonos.
I know.
I keep on going.
Yeah, I'm used to like fixing them and touching my head.
Pero sí, how has it been?
How has it been?
Me? I'm just sitting here.
What?
I don't know, bro. I feel a little bit out of it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Out of it?
Yeah.
Me too. I've been feeling a little out of it. Like, I feel like I just have so much going on. Yeah. And, like, I feel like, I don't know, burnt out. I don't know what's the word, because like even when I do sleep, like I still wake up feeling really tired.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I don't know what it is.
Like, sleep is not really rest type thing.
Yes, exactly. And like I've had sleep issues for quite some time, and so I'm treating it with my psychiatrist, and so I'm like taking medication that helps me sleep, and like, yes, I'm falling asleep faster than I was able to before, but I'm still waking up feeling tired, which is weird. I don't know.
So, like, is it helping? Or, like, not really?
It helps me fall asleep, because before I would toss and turn for hours.
But when you toss and turn for hours, did you get good rest? Or would you still...
No, I'd wake up tired.
All right, then it is helping.
No, I'd wake up tired all the fucking time. And so, like, this at least helps me knock out faster.
Yeah.
But before... So, when I was taking, like, a lower dosage... it didn't help me fall asleep fast. Like, I was still tossing and turning.
Yeah.
But when I did sleep, I felt rested. And then, so he was like, okay, well, like, let's put you up a little bit so that you could fall asleep faster. So I'm falling asleep faster now, but then I'm not feeling rested anymore. I don't know what it is.
No, pues no puedes ganar.
I know, no. Si no es una cosa es la otra.
Yes, I know. Like, you gotta choose now. But, I hope you get a good night's rest tonight. Maybe
Same.
not. Anyways, but I did a poll on my Instagram because it's fun, you know. People like have different answers, right? So la pregunta que ay chingado no pude. Oh, ¿viste mi little monkey? Oh my god, guys.
Did I?
Yes, you did, because you liked it. You probably didn't read it, but you liked it.
No, I just don't remember.
Wait. Ven, están que no me quiere, guys. Anyways, I basically asked on my personal IG do you guys think a girl should make the first move? People were answering.
Did anybody say always?
No, nobody said.
Okay.
Nobody said always.
Because I was looking at that option. I'm like, is anybody going to say always?
No, I have to put an option for yes, no, and then maybe so type shit. I did get actually a couple votes saying like absolutely not.
Okay.
Surprisingly, mostly guys. And then I don't mind, it's not a big deal. It was majority. It was 82%.
Oh shit. Okay, so most people chose that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what did you choose?
Well,
I mean, I know it's your poll, but like obviously you have your thoughts on it.
I feel like it's kind of like I don't mind, it's not a big deal, but I'm not one to make a first move, and it's just like I have done it before, so it's like whatever's to me. But I prefer. I don't know. I don't even prefer. It's just no me acostumbro a hacer eso. You know.
Is it because you don't want to go out of your way, or is there like meaning behind you not wanting to make the first move?
Damn, we're getting deep into this. Okay, therapist. I don't know. Maybe it's.
Or are you just a shy girl?
I'm a little bit of a shy girl. I'm not gonna lie. Like I gotta have a couple shots to give me like liquid courage, you know. Yeah. But I think it's I'm just like I'm very shy. So when it comes to new people.
Okay.
And dating and stuff.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
So, but I have done it before. And I put myself out there before. And it's worked, you know. Pero no es algo que digas, you know. Yeah. And then again, I'm like, right now I'm in a point in my life where I'm not really, like, out there looking for someone. It's not saying that I don't, you know, el que caiga, you know. Si me cae el Prince Charming, good. Pero I'm more so focusing on myself and my health and everything like that. Trying to get my life together. So, it's like, I'm not going out of my way to hit up people. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So, what about you?
When I voted on it, I chose what was the third option? I don't know, or no, I don't know. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, to me, I chose that one. It's not a big deal. I kind of chose it like as a I feel like in general, not specifically for me. But I chose it as generally, like, I feel like it's not a big deal, and I don't think it should be a big deal. Because I feel like for some women, like, I feel like, especially depending on, like, whatever, like, stage in life that they're in, like, some girls just know what the fuck they want. They just know what they want, and for them it's like, I'm not in, like, some women, I know plenty of these women where they're not into fucking around or playing games, so they're just like, hey, I'm gonna shoot my shot, y si dice que no, cool, I'm gonna move on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, some girls are just like, I'm gonna shoot my shot,
I'm not gonna waste my time. Vamos a ver si sirve, si no, pues no voy a estar esperando for him to, like,
exactly.
And because on that encuesta que hice in the poll, I also put like a little box for people to say why they answered that, whoever wanted to answer. And I got a lot of girls that said that, you know, you got to shoot your shot. Like, you can't, like, what if this is a one and you missed your opportunity because you didn't want to put yourself out there. And a lot of them were in happy relationships when they, not knowing, they did the first move.
And they're like now in happy relationships.
Now in happy relationships.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, damn, maybe I should, like, get myself more out there, pero like so shy. Like, so shy. Like, how do you even, like, I don't know.
And I think you had said most of the people who voted for absolutely not, it was mostly men.
Yeah, mostly men.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder, like, do you think men will feel, like, demasculated if, like, a woman, like, made the first move?
I think it may be in a way just because of the society standards. I think that has to go with society itself. That it's just so on the man to be, like, very masculine. He has to do the first everything. He has to lead. He has to do that. So I feel like it's so brought upon them that they feel like maybe, like, oh, maybe a girl making the first move makes them feel a little weird, like, uncomfortable. Like, you know?
But I feel like times have changed. And like what you said, it's interesting because even a lot of women, like, who said, oh, it's not a big deal, like, they're in happy relationships because they made the first move. So I feel like times have changed. And
Times have changed, pero
I
hay
don't
gente
think
que
that.
se
Do you,
están...
do you still think that pressure is there, or maybe it's just like they're putting that pressure on
I think
themselves?
it's they're putting that pressure on themselves. But I feel like we grew up with that pressure, you know, with that society kind of standard. Desde
Yeah.
chiquita,
Well, you know what? That's true because I feel like growing up, like it was weird for like a girl to make a first move,
Yes.
and they're like, ugh, like why would you ask him? Like you're supposed to let them make the first move.
I remember when I was little, bro, I was ahí no tenía vergüenza. I'd be like, yeah, I know what I want. I'm going for that. Maybe I should go back to how I was when I was a kid, man. But yeah, era aventada, era volada la muchacha acá. Like, if I wanted it, I got it, type shit. And I did get comments like that, like, no, you have to wait for the guy, and I'm like,
But
voy a
like,
estar esperando años.
You know that okay, I'm kind of like on the not on the fence, but I'm just kind of like it can go in so many ways, right? I feel like it also depends on the dynamic that you're trying to have in a relationship because I feel like maybe some women do want a man, like they want their dynamic to be like very masculine man and they're very feminine, and to them like the man should be leading the relationship or whatever, and so to them maybe they want the guy to make the first move.
I think more so that too, like it plays into like traditional like gender roles, you know? But like let's put in my perspective, like okay, I do want something a little bit more on the traditional side, you could say, quote unquote, where I could be completely in my feminine and the guy's in his masculine, you know. But I don't find it a big deal, like if I like kind of slide in the DMs, like, you know, he posts like a, you know how sometimes guys get haircuts, they're fresh ass haircuts, and they post like maybe like a quick selfie or on their story, you know, just slide right there.
So there's with like certain things that it's not a big
do
deal.
a little like or something like that, because that's honestly,
wait, is that shooting your shot,
bro, let me tell you, I feel like and a lot of girls can kind of like relate to this. Sometimes it's like doing a like on a picture and then they they slide into your DMs.
But like plenty of people like the picture.
I don't like a lot of guys' pictures. Like I'm not actively. So when I do like guys' pictures, I'm like, oh, okay. Kind of, in a way. Unless they're my friends. It's different. That's different.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm not up to date on how liking pictures goes. Because I'm like, wait. Because I obviously have like males that I follow. And then if they're posting a picture of their fucking car, I'm like, damn, that shit's hella sick. I'll like the picture.
No, not the car. Not the picture of a car. We're talking about a selfie. Like them. A picture of them themselves.
Oh, like they took it in the mirror?
I don't fucking know. Something, maybe like somebody took a picture and they have a fire-ass outfit or stuff like that, you know?
Oh, I don't like those too many, but that's because I think that's weird. Like,
not the mirror self. Oh,
I'm married, so it's just like weird if I'm like liking. But if like let's say I do have like male, like I have male friends that I follow or whatever, and they post a picture of like them and their kids or whatever, like, oh, like that's so cute, and like I'll like the picture. But you're talking about selfies.
Yeah, we're talking about a picture of them, you know, they look good and stuff like that. You know, you don't regularly, like, well, for me, I don't regularly just like pictures unless they're my friends. And I have a couple guy friends and stuff like that. But así que los otros que están ahí, pues nunca. So when I do like a picture, like, they notice and slide into my DM.
Damn, I didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
So, I mean, I guess not really a first move, but kind of like a half move.
It's kind of like a half move.
It's like I noticed you or something like that. Like liking their story.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see it. But I know, like, with me and Val, though, I feel like he obviously, not obviously, but I feel like he technically made the first move. Technically. If we're talking about, like,
how do you...
talking or whatever, because I had posted a picture on Facebook back in the day. I had posted a picture on Facebook and he had commented on it and he was like, damn, you hella cute. Y yo bien aventada. I was like, I'm like, oh damn, you hella cute too.
Hey, but technically he made the first move.
Now
and that's how you sparked conversation.
Yeah, but now if we're talking like and then he replied with like, oh, like, he's like, oh, I just DM'd you, and he basically asked for my number, gave him my number, and then but we were talking like, oh, like we went on our first date. He asked me to go on our first date, but then like till this day he will say I'm the first one who initiated the kiss. So he says that I made the first move.
I got a lot of confusion also on the post because I had a couple people tell me like first move and what, like, but I meant like to start talking type
to
thing.
start talking, okay,
because there's like first move on like, you know,
physical.
Physical. And es así, yo soy muy aventada, bro. No, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And yeah.
I mean, potentially I could have made the first, like I could have leaned in a little bit first for the kiss.
Kinda.
He says it was me. I don't know. I think we both leaned in at the same time. But then like when we were actually, because we were dating before we made it official, and then when we actually got together, it was because of me. I was the one, like I remember that day we went to a movie, and
what movie? Me asking what movie?
The movie, it was the black. Damn, what was it called? The black. Yeah. I know the movie. It was with Daniel Radcliffe.
Angel, you know I don't know. I know actors
Harry
by
Potter.
Name. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, the one with the house and the creepy lady.
And the creepy lady in the black dress.
Yes.
What is it called? Ay, no me acuerdo, mierda.
No sé, pero sé cuál estás hablando.
That one. We went to go watch that one. And which is funny because Val hates scary movies. So I know he went because of me.
Oh, of course.
You know me, I love scary movies. I love creepy, scary stuff. And so I know he went because of me. So I don't know what we were like. And I think like when we went, we had like most of the theater to ourselves. So we were just kind of like fucking around, like laughing, joking.
Fucking around.
Not like that, okay? But I remember, I don't know what he had said, but then I was like casually like, damn, you should just be my boyfriend already. Like fucking around. But then he was like, yeah, you know what? He's like, I should be. And then like after that, like we just made it official.
Damn, la okay.
And here we are, 11 and a half years later.
Married with a whole ass property and kids. Well, not perritos.
Not kids. We have perritos, dogs.
Yeah.
I get, yeah, and like honestly, I think people put too much importance sometimes on whether who makes the first fucking move. It doesn't fucking matter. Obviously, depending on what kind of dynamic you're looking for, what you're looking for, it depends on the person.
Yeah,
too.
I guess it depends on the person. Como tú dijiste, the dynamic. But just because, like, let's say you're, like I said, like if you want something a little bit more traditional, feminine is a feminine, like girl stays in her feminine, the guy stays in his masculine. That could still be, like, you could still get to that, even if you
not
make
if they're
the first
traditionalist.
One. Oh, we're talking about extremists, like
traditionalists, like very
al extremo.
Yeah.
Like no, guy, girl.
Yeah.
Feminine.
Like gotta go talk to your parents type shit, and because there's a few people out there like that still.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, no sé, cada quien, bro.
Yeah, cada
Hagan
quien.
lo que quieran, you know, as long as you, like, are happy in a happy relationship, that's all that matters.
But also, here's to play devil's advocate.
Ándale. You always do this. If there's one thing about Angel, she will always play devil's advocate.
Yeah, fuck
all the time.
I like to pick people's brains.
Yeah, she does.
And especially I like to create up scenarios, hypotheticals. Cause I'm like, I feel like some people, cause they're very like, no, like I stick to this answer.
Oh yeah, that's
but then
when Angel picks even more.
That's when I pick even more, cause I'm like, okay, so what about in this scenario? Like I'll start coming up with shit.
I'm like, fuck.
So let me play devil's advocate here. Do you think nowadays, because kind of gender roles have changed, dynamics have changed, obviously like society's standards or whatever have evolved.
Yeah.
Do you think that like more men have started becoming like they're the ones that you need to talk to them, you need to ask them, like they want to get taken care of? Like they want to be fucking pampered.
They're the ones that want to be chased. Basically.
Yes, they want to be chased. There you go. That's a good way to put it. Like, okay, so with everything, like I said, explained, society standards have evolved, gender roles have changed, everything, right? Do you think it has made more men wanting to be chased instead of doing the chasing?
I think so. Definitely. And definitely. And
You said definitely.
I tell you from experience because, I've dated, like, I've talked to a couple men.
Yeah.
A couple men, whatever.
¿Cuántos tienes ahorita?
Damn, ¿cuántos novios tengo? And I feel like it has, like, and there's nothing completely bad about it. I don't think so. To each their own. But to me personally, like, I look more for, like, a more, not traditionalist, okay, but kind of more traditional, like, man, a more masculine man.
Yeah.
Do
you think that makes men more feminine if they want to be chased?
I think so, because that's, like, part of femininity. It's, like, being chased, being treated, like, like that. So, I think definitely. And it's nothing wrong with that. That's the thing about it. If you like being chased, good for you, boo. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But
Edith will not be chasing.
Yeah,
you.
I will not be chasing. I do not do no chasing at all. Because I like a guy to like, no, I guess chase me, but like, like do lead and do whatever he has to do to like, básicamente conquistarme. But when it's the other way around, I lose interest because that's not what I'm interested in. And a lot of girls, well, not a lot of girls, well, I guess a lot of girls kind of have the same issue with the ones that are not single, but have kind of the same issue of finding men that are kind of like more in the masculine instead of touching base in their feminine, because I feel like society has put it up to like where, now traditional roles are kind of like,
yeah,
out type thing.
Yeah.
Pero no creo que nada malo. Like, si el guy quiere estar así, que sea así, of course he's gonna attract a girl that will chase him, like...
I feel like they'll probably attract a more masculine woman.
Yeah, a more masculine woman. No girl that's more in their masculine, and that's completely okay.
Yeah, again, like you said, it depends on the dynamic that you're wanting.
Yeah, because no es nada decir, like, what I want is the correct way. In no way, shape, or form, Cada quien queremos lo que quieras, pero, like, if I'm approached by a man that wants to be chased, I'm not going to do the chasing.
Well, I mean, they're not going to be approaching you.
I mean, if somehow I come into the vicinity with a man like that, like, I will not be chasing. No.
Yeah, like, that's a no for me.
Yeah. Pa otra, like, but there's nothing wrong with that. I gotta say that again, because if a guy wants to be more in his feminine, good for him, he feels comfortable enough, but it's not my thing.
No,
because I want to be in my feminine.
That's true. I mean, for me too. Because I feel like if Val was wanting... I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, if the roles were, like, reversed. Like, okay, here's the thing. Growing up, like, I operated on masculine energy most of my life. And, I don't know. I don't even know how that fucking worked out with Val and I, because could you imagine like two masculine energies like coming together?
Yeah.
It was like, and I think that's why initially we kind of bumped heads on certain things.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you guys bump heads at the beginning?
Yeah, we did. And it was because like, and like, you know what? And like, I feel like even over the years, like, it's not to say that our relationship is perfect, but like even throughout the years or whatever, there's been times where I feel like maybe Val has let the foot off the gas a little bit on certain areas, and we've like end up talking about it, obviously, because I'll be like, hey, like, why did you stop doing this, or like, why have you, or this, or whatever, right? Like, we'll talk about it, and then he's just like, I don't know, he's like, honestly, sometimes I feel like you don't need me. Because I feel like regardless of what situation you're in, he's like, you always got you. And I'm like, damn, like, that's true. Because I've always operated on masculine energy. Like, no matter what fucking situation I'm in, I always got me. And I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. And so, like, sometimes I feel like because of, like, that clash where like he obviously like he prefers to operate in his masculine energy, but I feel like because I've also operated on masculine energy, we like clashed a lot, and I just feel like sometimes it's like one of us has to give, you know, it's like a give and take.
Yeah.
Because imagine we're both always operating on masculine energy.
Yeah,
so it's just sometimes he's just like, I don't know, like sometimes I just feel like you don't need me. He's like, but again, it's a learning curve for me. Like, I feel like he's obviously giving me the space to like allow me the time and place to be able to slowly like enter like a feminine energy like era.
But I feel like it takes
it takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time, and it takes a secure, non-toxic man in his masculine energy to be able to let a woman operate on her feminine energy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like dejar poco poquito the masculine and go into her feminine energy. Because keep in mind, us as women, I feel like we go into our masculine when we need security, when we need to basically fend for ourselves type shit. And in order for us to operate in our feminine, we have to be more vulnerable, and it's very hard.
It is very hard.
It's very hard if for years you operated on just masculine. You get me? Like, because you're like, oh, don't trust anybody. I can't trust you. I gotta do it myself, or else it's not gonna get done. You know, you have that mentality, and then slowly tienes que aprender with this non-toxic, you know, non-toxic masculine energy. He's going to show you, you know what, you could actually trust somebody, and you could start operating in your feminine energy slowly, poco poquito.
Yeah, here we are 11 and a half years later, and obviously it's taken time. Obviously, I think a lot of things changed once we got married and we were living together. I think that's when I was given the most space to be able to like do that. And I fucking love him so much for like having the patience to deal with me, because sometimes I know I'm not easy to deal with. And because like yo siempre he sido like, no, I want to fucking do it because I'm gonna do it right. Like, and so I don't know, like he's created a safe place for me where like, yeah, like I feel like especially this year, I feel like I've kind of entered like my soft girl era. And so
snaps to
like
that.
Now it's like, it's so weird. And you know what, I just had this thought today, because I'm like, I was in the car and then I'm over here like you know when you have intrusive thoughts. I was girl.
Some days they be very intrusive. So they be intruding.
I'm over here driving to work and I'm like, girl, you can't cry right now because your makeup, like you filmed today. So I'm over here trying to hold back tears. And I just like all of a sudden like had this thought of like, Angel, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, what is wrong with you? Because yo nunca he sido chillona. Like, nunca he sido chillona. Like, I feel like for the longest time, it was just kind of like, suck it up and get through it. Like, suck it up, get through it.
You didn't let yourself.
I didn't let myself.
You didn't let yourself feel what you were going through.
I didn't. And obviously I was who I needed to be to get through that point of my life. And it got you through. And it got me through. That's who I needed to be to get through that point of my life. And like now, now married and having my own like home, and it's just a different life for me now. And it's just like it was an easy transition. It wasn't an easy transition. And like I said, this year, like, dude, all of a sudden soy bien chillona pa todo. Soy bien chillona pa todo. And I just feel like I'm now in a space where I'm allowing myself to feel the years worth of bullshit that I held. Oh my God, ya quiero llorar. Like, I'm like now allowing myself the space and the time to like feel everything that I put down, everything that I shoved down, everything that I was like, no, like I would just try to like bury it.
You thought like, you forgot about it, but boom, bitch, it's still there.
It's there. And like, especially I feel like with this podcast, one of my goals with this podcast is learning to wear my heart on my sleeve and being vulnerable. And I'm truly getting that because I'm seeing the change in myself of like allowing myself to be vulnerable, and I'm letting it out. So now I really feel like I'm getting into my like soft girl era, because now like I'm feeling through everything instead of just going through it. I'm feeling through it. which is different. Yeah, like I'm feeling everything as I'm going. That doesn't mean that like no mas I'm gonna like hide away in my room and just fucking cry. Like no, like I'm feeling my way through it. Like I'm allowing myself to feel what I'm feeling, but still going through it.
Yeah. Instead of just like fuck it, forget about it, bury it,
and boom, and keep going.
Yeah.
Which is what I did for like a long ass time.
Yeah.
And so like this year has been like a 180 for me.
Yeah.
And like, because I was just like, Angel, why the fuck you a crybaby this year? And I think it's because I'm allowing myself the space. And Val has been a huge part of that.
Yeah, he's giving you the safe space to like start operating in your feminine energy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Damn, who the fuck knew we were gonna get deep?
Damn. Damn. You see, when I don't know what time is it. Are we good on time?
We'll have to cut soon.
Okay.
But just say your thoughts.
When I grew up a little different, obviously. I grew up in my feminine. So it's like everything was taken care of for me. Like all I had to worry about is myself and my feelings and everything like that. You know, and it was a great privilege that I had a little bit, and I'll talk a little bit about it. I had a different instance, you know, when I grew up and became an adult and everything like that, you know, and I went into the real world. I was with a partner that I had to alternate my feminine energy and start operating in my masculine, and it was very hard for me. Very hard for me, because as a chiquita, my parents, how they raised me, you know, they were there for me, and I grew up in that feminine. So to transition into masculine, like being like, oh, slap in the face, bitch, now it's like you have to fend for yourself. It was a big alternating like thing in my life. And yeah, but like después de eso, I started like operating on just masculine. I forgot about my feminine. That's all because I was like, I gotta take care of myself. I got this for myself. I got shit. Like I gotta do it for myself, you know. And it was a process to go back to my feminine girl. Like it was therapy sessions after therapy sessions, you know, of trying to like get back into my soft girl.
Do you think it felt initially going back into your feminine energy, do you think it felt like a little out of place because you started operating on masculine energy for a while?
It did, because I was like, no, like because I had to be vulnerable. That's the thing about it. And it's shit, like, because when you go into your masculine, girl, it's like, you're, como tú dijiste, shit happens and you just fucking throw it, no, bury it, put a lock on it, forget it the fuck about it, you know? And I would say, like, it's kind of like a toxic masculinity in a way. It's not a healthy
There's masculinity and there's toxic masculinity.
Yeah, and I feel like that's more of a toxic, like, masculinity. Pero bueno, no puedo hablar. Trait. And so I started doing that, and so that it was really hard to go back to my feminine, because it was basically unlocking everything I fucking locked up and actually feeling it through.
Dude, that shit feels like a fucking brick to the face.
It's like, fuck. And it's like, if you feel stuff while you're going through it, I think it's a little bit easier to process, you know, and you start healing much better. But if you save everything up and just like a bottle, like, you know, you just put it and it explodes at one point, and it's so hard.
It's very hard
and painful, like for I don't know about you, I think you could relate to it, like physically painful at times, because you feel like everything, like everything's on your shoulders, like te cayó, a bunch of fucking bricks, and you don't fucking know what to do. Like, I don't know. But that's where therapy, well, for me, therapy came into play.
I feel like I didn't do therapy, but I've kind of been doing it, like.
But you have your coping, like, not coping. How do you say? You have your.
I have my way of dealing with it or whatever, and but yeah, it's painful when like things that like, especially with the podcast, because I feel like I've gotten pretty vulnerable a few times, like with the podcast, and it's like shit that I haven't fucking talked about in forever, just like bringing it up, like. Yeah, like it's sometimes I just like laugh it off, and like sometimes like that's my way of like self-soothing, is to kind of laugh it off, like like I went through,
it wasn't that bad,
you know. But like no, like then it's just like I go through this like usually it's like that night or even like the days following like filming a podcast after I just got vulnerable where I feel like a little drained because it's just like I had to relive that part of my life and like like I've even started like now allowing myself, like I said, to kind of feel what I buried away when I went through these things.
Mentally exhausting.
It's mentally exhausting. And just like you said, it kind of like when you just like bury it and lock it away and you don't allow yourself to feel through it, it like once you're allowing yourself to feel it, it comes and hits you like a fucking brick to the face. Like it hurts because now you're like reopening this wound that, you know.
Yeah. And when I first started going to therapy, I hated therapy. I hated it so much, but I pushed myself through it because that's exactly how I felt. Like I had to relive every painful moment that I went through, you know, and it was like after my therapy sessions, I had anxiety, like severe anxiety for a whole week. Like it was like, I was like, is this really helping me? Like, and my therapist, thankfully, you know, she convinced me to push through. And I mean, we're here, but it's very painful to relive everything because you bury it like for so long, and it's like shit. When you're talking about it, and you're like, that really happened, like holy
because sometimes I watch like our fucking clips that we do for the podcast, and when I talk about the shit that I've been through, I'm like, damn, Angel, that really fucking happened to you.
Like that's fucking trauma, and it's like to have to relive it again. It's like, I don't know about you, but it literally feels so real. Like it feels like it's happening again, and it's painful. But I feel like the more you get vulnerable, the more you like, you know, talk about it, and you don't just lock it up. Like you start healing.
Yeah, you know? And allowing yourself to feel through it. Yeah. I feel like is what I'm learning to do now, like I said, especially this year. Because that way when stuff happens and you're just like feeling through it, it doesn't hurt as much. Yeah. Like you're allowing yourself to kind of like feel it out slowly instead of locking it away and then just like reopening that wound and it fucking hurts.
It's like, yeah, exactly. Like you're healing through it. While you're feeling through it, you know, it's part of healing. And the other way, it's like, oh yeah, you fucking lock it up, and I feel like it gets worse.
That wound got infected.
Yeah, like that shit's está podrida. Like you need it. Like it's bad. Like almost dead, bro. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly how it feels.
Oh damn, that's crazy. I did not see the potty going this direction.
I know, bro. That was not where I thought it was gonna go
either. But let's go on our quick break because I think we're well past our time here.
Okay.
So we will be right back, guys. We're back, guys. All right. Where did we leave off?
I think we said
we went on a whole fucking tangent
there, bro. We
went on a whole tangent because we started talking about should girls make the first move, okay, and then we kind of led into men being chased, and then we kind of went into like masculine and feminine energy,
and then our own experiences.
Damn, we kind of touched on
quite
a few things. I'm like,
damn, girl.
Damn, yeah. Actually, I did think of a question though, because we were kind of talking about men being chased, gender roles, society standards changing and evolving, and all that. So do you think, especially with like men nowadays wanting to be chased, do you think in some way chivalry? Is it chivalry? Chivalry or chivalry?
Chivalry?
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Do you think chivalry... Dude, no lo puedo decir. Do you think chivalry...
On today's episode of No Sabo.
Oh, yeah, today's episode of No Sabo Inglés. Do you think chivalry... Chivalry! There we go.
Say it again.
Do you think chivalry... I think it's chivalry.
Chivalry?
Yeah, let me look up... Hold on.
Sorry, guys. Antes de que nos ataquen en los comentarios.
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yeah, so it's the V first.
Okay.
Chivalry. Do you think Madre.
Puta madre.
Yeah. Do you think chivalry is dead? Or not dead, but... Damn, that got dark.
So when it comes to, I don't think it's completely dead. I don't think it's dead because I feel like I've met a lot of men that are still, because I think esa madre, it's like whenever like they're being a gentleman, opening doors, you know, roses on the first day, you know, treating you like, you know, whatever. I don't think it's dead. I think.
But do you think it kind of has like?
Oh yeah, but I think it goes with that being like men liking to be
chased and
stuff like that.
Damn, so do you think
like
women are just becoming chivalrous?
I feel like women are just accepting whatever.
Oh damn! You said I think.
Damn, I going like that.
You said you think women are just accepting whatever.
At this point, bro.
Do you think women are settling? Actually, I can say that.
Yeah. Because I feel like as women, and there's been statistics en toda la madre. No te lo puedo decir ahorita, pero yo he ido y he visto y he leído. Whatever.
Okay. Por el Google.
Wikipedia. I'm just kidding. But, of course, and you could see it in society, like now more than ever, we have more women that are a lot more educated with, you know, or like have jobs that are, you know, high up there than before. You know, before it was, que pues en los años del dinosaurio, pues allá eran like the man honestly, used to work.
Like nowadays, there's like boss babes. Yes, like that. Exactly. That's a new term now.
Yeah, there's boss ass bitches, you know, and I feel like, you know, women are in the way, like going up and up type thing, that men are kind of like, they kind of, sometimes it's hard to find like men that are equal to what they're doing, you know, like, or equal to a reflection to them.
Yeah. I do, and then honestly, that's true. I feel like I have seen like instances where like men, like certain men can't handle like the woman making more money than them. And you know, a lot of women lie about that, you know. And I'm not gonna say a lot of women. I'm gonna say I've come into like a position too where I've caught myself doing this once. Nunca más. Where I kind of like, ¿cómo se dice? Like I kind of dimmed my
light because I knew that it was gonna like hurt his masculinity. Because a lot of men, like, you know, not a lot, but there's men that feel intimidated by a woman's success, you know, like
like for some reason, like they cannot be doing
better than
the woman can't be doing better than them.
And that's why I feel like a lot of women like will maybe like, you know, won't gas themselves up that much, or kind of like, como tú dijiste, dim their light and kind of settle for some whatever man. And you know, because there's not a lot of men that are like completely secure in themselves to like have, you know, women that are like super over there, top tier.
That's kind of crazy to me.
But I think like it's como ahorita como está la sociedad, you know. Now women aren't just homemakers, you know. Women aren't just stay-at-home moms. Women are like out there fucking getting it, like men. So I feel like, I don't know. But con eso cambia la sociedad. Like we're always changing. We're always evolving. But yeah.
I mean, I agree. I don't think chivalry. But I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead either. I don't think it's dead, but I do think that like I do think that there's like certain men who have not tried like as much.
Pero porque ya no les enseñan mucho eso. Like I feel like before it was like more, oh, you gotta, I don't know. I honestly, well, I don't know. I don't have any brothers or anything.
Well, here's the thing. Hear me out. So, and I'm gonna like bring this back to like, I feel like a lot of people, their first learning environment is their home, right?
Yes.
So, do you think like men are like a reflection of, well, certain men, obviously, whoever has a father in the home, do you think they're a reflection of them? So like they do what they saw type of thing. So like if they don't see the dad doing those kinds of things, that maybe like to them that's just normal.
I feel like it could go both ways. Like you could either learn from your parents or you could become your parents.
Yeah.
So one or the other.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe it is that, sometimes they don't see like their parents or, doing all that stuff, so they don't feel like the need to do it because their parents don't do it. But
so on the flip side of that,
oh damn.
So
oh no.
on the flip side of that, so do you think that like a little girl's dad should be their first example, if at all? Do you think a little girl's dad should be their first example of how a woman should be treated?
I mean, I don't think you have a choice kind of on there. As well, I'm talking about like my situation with two-parent household, It's like when you see your parents, however your dad treats your mom, that's kind of what you start like learning desde chiquita, because this is lo que estás viendo, and you won't know more than that until you start like, growing up and you see something else.
Yeah.
But however your dad treats your mom, that's kind of like
that's what's normal to you.
That's what's normal. Even if it's good, bad, or whatever the fuck it is, that's kind of what's normal, and it kind of leads to like, either learning from it or becoming it, like no quiero decir, pero because I'm not really in that situation, pero I mean, trying to like make it into words, but like let's say you're in a toxic family, right? And you see your parents fighting all the time and making up, fighting all the time and making up, I feel like you're gonna be like, oh, that's normal. Like
I saw this video that said that when you grow up in a household like that, where the parents are like constantly fighting like cats and dogs, or it's like the home environment is so unstable that to you're obviously your body learns to like cope with that or whatever, and it like it that becomes normal to the body and the mind. It becomes normal. So when you get older, like you kind of start to like let's say you're in a situation where you find a good man, like let's say a little girl grows up, she was in this environment, this toxic environment, she grows up, right, and then she like gets into a healthy relationship, and then to her it now becomes boring,
starts self-sabotaging,
yeah,
because that's what she saw as normal, and it takes healing and therapy if you want to, but like it takes a lot of healing to kind of see what is going on, because I feel like it could come into play, and you start self-sabotaging. I guess todo lo malo, you start trying to get something bad because it's not what your normal was, It's not your normal.
And I think my sister had told me this once, where like, because my sister has been in like toxic relationships and like getting into like a healthy relationship. She said that it kind of felt like being in a healthy relationship, it kind of felt like you're constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly.
You're constantly on edge. You're like, what's gonna go wrong? What is he hiding from me? She like, because she was so used to toxicity that like once she was like in a healthy relationship, she was kind of like, no, something's not right here. It don't sit right with me. It's too good to be true. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it takes, like you said, like a lot of healing and unlearning to be able to like,
emphasis on the unlearning, bro.
Yeah, unlearning. And it's just like and it's because like some people are just so used to that they now think these relationships that are healthy are like boring, or they're like have you even seen like the funny videos and skits people make that they're like everything's so happy, but like what am I gonna nitpick today so we can start a fight because I'm bored, I'm gonna start a fight. Like I look at those and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people? And if you're like this, I'm sorry.
Just talking shit.
But like that's just so unhealthy.
No,
like
it is. It completely is. But I feel like it stems to how you grew up and what you see in your household. Especially if you have a two-parent household, it's whatever relationship that you have. That's your first experience of what a relationship should be, or like your normal,
and like now that we're like talking about this, I kind of feel like just whatever you learn in the home, a lot of times you either become it or you like
learn from it,
right? And it could be like anything, right? Because I feel like like I said, for the longest time, I operated on masculine energy, right? And like, yeah, I didn't have a dad in the home, but like, I saw my mom was my prime example, and that woman is the walking definition of masculine energy.
Yeah.
Like, that woman has operated on masculine energy her entire fucking life. Who knows if she'll ever learn
To be in her
to be in her feminine energy. I feel like slowly we've kind of chipped away at it when like I take my mom to get pampered and like when I buy her things, you know, like, but she is like walking definition of masculine energy, and I feel like I learned that from her. Like, that's where like ella me enseñó, basically. Like, she was like example, and like obviously now it's just like I think I got to the point in my life, especially being in a very healthy relationship, that I was like, bro, operating on masculine energy for me was fucking exhausting. It was exhausting. Yeah. Like, I was like, you know, at some fucking point, I want to be taken care of. Oh my God, ya quiero llorar. Like, I want to be fucking taken care of because, like, Val had a good fucking point. He was like, sometimes I feel like you don't need me because at the end of the day, you always got you. And it's just like, sometimes I want someone to have me. Yeah. Like, I want someone to, like, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, ya quiero llorar. What were we talking about?
There. Parents.
Yeah, parents.
You learn from your parents.
Yeah, and I feel like that applies to everything. It's not just relationships.
Yeah. And yeah, it applies to a lot. Like, de cómo actúas, cómo te presentas. Like, just your person, yourself, you know? Because, like, at the end of the day, it's like, even when we were like babies or little, like toddlers, whatever, we were like sponges. We soaked up everything like that was happening, even though we don't remember it. Yeah. You know, in a way, it still affects us. Like, you know, even like whatever your parents do, that's the first lo que tú aprendites primero. So, I mean, if it was good, great, you know, but the toxic traits, the bad things, like, you're also going to take that in. And that's when your
body absorbs stress
and you kind of have to like pinpoint at it and be like, okay, am I gonna become my parents, or am I gonna learn from that and become a better version of myself? You know,
it takes a lot of self-awareness for that, though. Like,
it's not very it's not a thing that's very prominent in people. No, let's put it out there, because especially we can speak about the Latino community, you know, like with my parents, they sometimes don't like me. I feel like sometimes they want to disown me. I'm just kidding. Because yo siempre les, like, I learn all these things, you know. And
pero les das el contrario.
Les doy la contra, because I'm like, okay, like, you complain this about your parents, right? But you're literally acting the same way. And it's like, I make them realize shit that it's like, fuck, like,
go the fuck away, Edith.
Yes, stop telling me my fucking wrongs. I've been this, like, for years, and here you are, fucking going to therapy and learning you shit. That's
funny, because I do this shit to you all the time, where, like, sometimes...
Oh, yeah, she does.
We'll be talking, you'll be like, yeah, this and that, and I'm like, girl, and I'll fucking tell you something, and you're like, Angel,
shut the fuck up. I want to be sad right now. Let me be fucking sad. No, yeah, you do that to me. But, like,
you gotta have some self-awareness.
No, I know, that's fucking true. But
we're not talking about me right now.
Yeah, we're not talking about me, we're talking about my parents. But yeah, like, and I put them in there, like, in the place where they have to actually think about, shit. Because I don't, of course, you know, my parents did the best they could with what they could to raise me, you know. But that doesn't mean it didn't come with toxicity. It doesn't mean that it didn't come with trauma. It doesn't mean that, you know, everything was fucking perfect. We're talking about parents that immigrated from Mexico and had their own traumas that had from they had from their parents, and they didn't take time to heal that. So even though they tried their best, with what they could to raise me, they still kind of put those traumas kind of on me and their toxicity, because, como dije, at the end of the day, you either learn from your parents or you become them.
Yeah.
So,
girl, and I feel like that's one of the big reasons I'm like, low-key, if, you know, I ever decide to have kids, like, that's a huge thing for me. It's like, just the other day, somebody was like, Angel, like, have you thought about kids? And I'm like, no. I was like, I'm fucked up.
I'm all kinds of fucked up.
Like, and that's not to say that my mom did a shitty job of raising me. No. That's just to say that
she did there's the best a lot
of she did the best with what she could, but there was a lot of trauma that it took years. It was like I'm like an onion where you have to peel back my layers,
and I want to make sure that I'm the best possible human being I can be before I bring another human being into this world.
Exactly. I want to be the best version of myself that I could be, you know, before I bring somebody in. Like I think I've mentioned this before, where like some people are okay with like, oh yeah, my baby completes me or whatever, but like I don't want a baby to complete me. I want to be complete before I decide to have a baby.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's so much that I have to unpack still.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't heal that, you're literally just like, you know, your parents, you know, or my parents, you're going to put that trauma onto that child.
You're going to pass it
not
on.
Not wanting to, because obviously you're
going to do it subconsciously.
You love this human. Yeah. You want to treat them the best. You want happiness and everything. But at the end of the day, como tú dijiste, subconsciously, you're going to pass on those traumas.
Yeah, and I feel like that for me is a big thing. It's just I know I'm fucked up. I know that I've healed a lot of parts of me, but there's still so much to unpack, because think about it, like there's years and years of shit that I tucked away and that I'm barely unpacking it. And it's just like, and it's gonna take some time. And it's just like, I don't think I'm the best version of myself to be able to like have another kid and then give them my 100%. There's no fucking way I can do it. And then a lot of people too, like I've been called selfish, and I'm like, you're right, I am selfish, because you know why? Like growing up, like I felt like I had to be selfless, and I was always worried about like my mom, my sister, like having to take care of this, having to do that, constantly operating on masculine energy, where I have to make sure everything else is fucking taken care of, where I didn't prioritize myself. And I want to get to a point where I want to be selfish, because I want to take care of me. Like, it's okay to put yourself first and be able to like heal everything and become the best version of yourself. I don't want to be. Could you imagine being selfish and like reproducing?
Exactly. That's horrible.
That's like a chaos waiting to fucking happen.
Yes, exactly. Like that's not what it should be. I actually, funny you mentioned kids. My therapist this session, I'll talk about this week's session, what I spoke with my therapist. Somehow the conversation about kids and family and getting married came along. And she asked me, like, Edith, do you want kids? And for, you know my answer. I'm like, I'm cool without kids. I'm cool with kids. I don't really care. Like, it's not my priority right now. That my main focus is myself. Because at the end of the day, like, I have to heal myself as much as I can before I even have the thought of, should I have a kid or should I not?
Exactly.
You know? And we were talking about that. And she said that, like, how most of her patients, you know, like, they're like parents, and to think that they have so much they're going through besides raising a whole ass fucking human being, trying to heal themselves. She's like, it's not where you the best position to be in. And she's like, she's telling me, she's like, I'm very proud of you, because you're taking that step to kind of like heal yourself first before you even give the thought of kids, you know.
And this right now, we're not speaking like, oh shit, like I got pregnant and like it was a surprise. This is like someone being an adult and making the decision to have kids or not. This is what we're speaking on.
Yeah, like you made the decision to
we're not talking about like, oh shit,
accidents happen.
Accident or like something.
They fucking do, and you have to.
Shit happens in life.
Get your shit together and fucking.
Yeah, shit happens. But we're talking about grown adults making a decision to have kids.
But and she was telling me, like, you know, it's better not to think about that until you feel like you're in a secure place, that you feel like you're the best human being you possibly can be, you know? So, till then, I'm like... But then it started getting me thinking. I'm like, do I really want kids? Because for... well,
I feel like right now, maybe you just don't have the mental space for it.
I don't have the mental space. But I feel like for a while, too, I was like, no, I don't want kids. No, I don't want kids. And now I'm like, kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of like fixing myself and we'll see.
Yeah.
But
and then honestly, you can't just say yes or no. Like, me and Val have this all the time where I'm like, yeah, fuck them kids. Because Val and I are in that era, right? But like, who knows? Like, I feel like right now we're both in like a grind season. Yeah. We're both in the grind season. We're working on ourselves.
You have goals to accomplish. You guys.
Yeah, we don't have the mental space for a kid right now.
And I feel like you have, like, for me, like, if I ever want to have a kid, I have to make sure that I have enough patience, that I've done all the healing I could, because cool, the baby stage is a cute stage, you know, like, yeah, stressy stage, you're stressful as a new parent, but what about when they're teenagers and they're like giving you all this shit? Like, do I have the patience and the mental capacity to like be able to be the best possible parent and not just like darle las contra and just scream at them and send them to their room and stuff like that, and be able to actually talk with them, talk about their problems, and be there for them. Like,
the teenage years, because a lot of people talk about like the baby years and how important those years are for development and all that stuff, but the teenage years, those are very fucking important years.
My mom, because she's mentioned, we talked about that, and she said like the sleepless nights, you know, like with being when she has a baby, like the feeding, the tiredness, it doesn't compare to like the rough, like teenage hormonal years that she's endured with us, because we put her in a place where it's like she had to be the bad person, you know, and she says it takes a toll more on your mental than when they were a baby and you're like physically drained and tired mentally and everything like that. For her, it was harder for like the teenagers, for us. Yeah. Than when
I gotta ask my sister, because my nephew just entered he's gonna be 15 this year, but still, like, that's like, she's dealing with a whole ass teenager, and like, even I'm like, the fuck's wrong with these teenagers nowadays?
Yes, for example, like my sister, Dios mío, la bendiga, you know, but she got a mouth on her, you know, she has an attitude, and my mom, you know, props to her, because she's done amazing at evolving at the way that she approaches things, because I was also a really bad kid, not a bad kid, but like, I talked back. I used to do whatever the fuck I wanted, and with the parenting she gave me is very different to the parenting she's giving me my sister now. Now she's like,
approaching it differently.
Yeah, she's approaching it different. She's approaching it at a more understanding way, you know, more patience, more trying to be there not only as a mom, but like also like as a friend, you know, if she needed it. When it was with me, it was like authority figure at all fucking times, you know, because that's what she was taught. But throughout the years, ella aprendió okay, maybe I don't have to be that rough, you know, maybe I can be with them for their problems. I want them to talk to me about their problems, to feel secure and to feel safe, you know. And I feel like that's what she's working on. But she says it takes a lot of patience to like become that. You know,
just having another human being that you're like responsible for is a lot of fucking responsibility and pressure.
Exactly.
Because you're like, fuck, I don't want to fuck them up.
Yeah, like, I'm fucked up. Like, I don't want to fuck you. Like, I'm like,
that's a lot of pressure. So props to all the parents out there.
Props to all the parents, you know, trying their best with what they can.
Respect for the parents out there.
You know, like the ones, like, how you said, like, you know, for the ones that, you know, had to grow the fuck up, you know, maybe they got pregnant without planning it and everything, and they had to make themselves go into that mode, and now they're healing themselves at the same time parenting another child, like parenting a child, you know. That's fucking
mad respect
hard.
to them, because that's that for me, I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. And the ones who decided to have kids and they weren't healed, I hope you're doing the healing while you're doing that too.
Hopefully you're doing what
and you're not
to
just
do.
Not just reflecting on your kids, but not deflecting.
No,
¿Cómo se dice?
You're projecting
on your kids.
I think it's
there
projecting.
We go. Thanks. Projecting on your kids. So
yeah,
you know what? But like, we can only talk about our situation,
like now, because who knows? Like, that's why, like, nothing is set in stone.
Yeah,
like,
we're not bashing on anybody either.
Yeah, we're not bashing on anybody. Like, if you don't want to have kids, good for you. If you do want to have kids, good for you too. Like, Val and I have had this conversation where I was like, hey, do you think maybe in a few years, once we've like settled in, money is good. We're in a position where we're both, healed, not healed fully, but like the best versions of ourselves. I'm like, I was like, kids are kids on the table. And I think like when you put all the bullshit aside with what we're working on right now, it's just like, you know what, kids can be on the table. Like once we're in a place mentally where we can be, then like who knows? The shit is not set in stone, but
there's not a right. También dicen like, there's never a right time. Like you'll never be prepared enough. But I feel like as a person, you could, heal enough or heal the best that you can before. You decide.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Decision.
Ooh, well, damn. I think we are approaching the end. Should we do one chisme though?
Yeah, let's do
one chisme. We haven't done a chisme.
Let's do some chisme.
Let's do some chisme because let's lighten up the mood.
Yeah, God damn it.
Damn, I got deep.
I didn't think we were gonna go into parenting. Fuck.
Damn. ¿Quién los creemos?
I know.
¿Quién los creemos? All right, we got time for one chisme. All right, here we go. Hi, ladies. So first of all, congrats on your podcast. I'm one of your first listeners, followers since day one. Woo, we got a day one.
We have an OG.
Shout out.
OG.
I wanted to share a little about myself and many of my stories. So in 2021, I got a divorce from my ex-husband of 15 years marriage. Oh, damn. No kids, thank God. Okay. Oh,
I know, man. I'm like, yes.
I mean, I do want a baby, but I'm just glad it wasn't with him.
Yeah.
Girl, preach.
Yes.
I just turned 36 and I'm currently talking to a guy. But ladies, dating in these past 2 years compared to dating in the early 2000s, so much has changed. Wow, it's kind of like we planned this out. Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yep.
So much has changed. Guys don't want to commit. They just want all the benefits without committing to a serious relationship. But I also blame ourselves for that. As mujeres,
were we talking about this? Damn. Women fucking settling and just taking.
Yeah, damn. It's kind of like it all just worked out.
Yeah.
But I also blame ourselves for that. As mujeres, I feel like we have lowered our standards so much that guys now don't even want to try to get to know us due to other females giving it up first. I feel like we are more like the guys now. Damn!
What the fuck?
Damn, what the fuck?
Oh shit.
It's like she knew
I
we were gonna like
what the fuck? That's creepy.
And take sex as, oh, I fucked him already. Oh, and him too. Yeah. LOL. I would love to encourage our ladies to not make it so easy for these guys. And if they really want you, they need to work for it. Or what do y'all think about this topic? Dang.
What do you think?
Okay. I think that as times have changed, some people might think that women are giving it up more easily. But I do feel like women are starting to embrace sexuality more. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. But, like, if you're turning it into, like, yeah, I already fucked him. Like, that's kind of weird to me. Like, you're kind of, like, you're holding it as a badge of honor or something. Like, that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah. But guys do that. So, is it? I feel
like I don't think it should be a double standard. Yeah. Like, okay? Like, yeah, guys do that shit, too. That's kind of weird to me. When guys are like, yeah, I took her virginity. I fucked her. Like, bro, who the fuck? Like, grow the fuck up, okay?
First of all, that girl don't even remember you. It wasn't even that good.
And like I think as times have changed, yeah, some girls might, give it up a little bit easier, yeah. But like at the same time, like some women have just learned to embrace their sexuality and like, if that's what they want to do, yeah. Great for them. But if they're turning it into like some kind of weird situation like that,
but
that's weird.
Think, like I feel like it's not so much of just like the problems on women. Like, you know, I feel like society now, it's like it being casual and not making things like, you know, a relationship itself, that's a thing now.
That's a thing now. But
casualness. But that's a thing within society. I don't think it's particularly just women. I think it's men too, you know.
I agree.
And I don't think it's like, you know, women giving it up easily. Like, you know, as long as a woman is happy, you know, and it's consensual and everything like that, if she embraces her sexuality in that way, then go for it, you know. Thankfully, we live now in a society where we feel secure enough to kind of like, you know, be in touch with their sexuality. Well, before it was only men, you know, that could be in touch with theirs.
Exactly.
Well, okay, God forbid us talk about sex, you know.
Yeah.
Even though we were the ones doing it too, but we couldn't talk about it. But I feel like now in society, I think it's more so the hookup culture. You know?
Hookup culture.
That now it's on both parts. It's on everybody, you know?
I just feel like maybe, and again, I feel like maybe it goes back to like where are you looking for? Where are you going to meet like potential people that you want to date? Because also like I think it matters too where you're going to meet these people, because and I feel like you also should be direct with what you're looking for.
And that's the thing about it. Like I feel like as women we like, or men too, you know, you have to be direct about what you want from the start. I feel like sometimes you may like start talking to a person and you lead it on for like a week or two and or whatever first date. You have to make it clear, like, I'm not looking for something casual. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to say that, you know, because they're like, oh, I don't want to scare them off. But in reality, you got to be clear what you want, because we're not wasting time here,
don't be wasting time.
And if you're looking for something casual, which good for you, you know, but I am not. So I'm not going to give you that. So why are we here?
Exactly.
And that I've been put into positions like that, you know, but I'm very upfront of what I want from the start. Like, if I'm looking for something, you know, friends with benefits, cool, I'll tell you from the start. But if I'm looking for, you know what, I'm more serious now. Like, I'm actually looking for a relationship that maybe ends up leading into, not maybe, that leads on into a full-blown relationship and maybe marriage. That's what I'm looking for. But if you're not really ready for that commitment and you're just trying to hook up, then no, thank you.
Yeah, and even like you said, being direct with what you want and, you know, being upfront about being like, look, I'm not looking for casual. I'm looking for something more serious. Yeah, it might, you know, make the pool a little bit smaller.
It makes it a lot smaller, actually.
It makes it a lot smaller.
It's a hookup culture. It's hookup culture right now. So most of the people are just having fun and doing whatever. And that's society right now. But yes, como tú dijiste, it's going to make the pool smaller. But at the end of the day, did you really want to end up with the person that just wanted to hook up?
Exactly. Exactly. And then honestly, like, could you imagine, like, you know, going through these, like, and it's like you're saving time, right? Because you're being direct about what you want. It's going to make the dating pool smaller. But it's like you're not going to be going through guys left and fucking right, like, trying to weed out, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to go through a smaller dating pool, but you might even find the one. You don't know. Like,
because at the end of the day, like, it also depends on where you meet them, because most of the time, if you you know, people have found love on like dating apps and there's stuff like that, but they're mostly used for hookup, so you know, like, so you got to be careful with that, where you meet them and everything like that. But there's a lot of men that are looking for a serious relationship, you know, but it's like you both have to weed out until you find each other, basically, like.
But it'll be that much more worth it once you actually meet each other.
Yeah, but it's not to say that there's not men out there that want to be in a committed relationship. There is. I've met a lot of men.
I've met a lot of men who want serious relationships.
I've met a lot of men that want serious relationships.
Not with me, though.
Hopefully, but girl, because you're all married and shit.
I know. I was just, you know.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
And that's why I was like, let me make it clear. Not with me, but, you know, in general.
But I feel like, it really does. You have to be upfront from the beginning. Like, if you scare them off, oh, well, bye. I wasn't even going to, like, do anything with you at that point, you know? But I feel like a veces como women, we're like, oh, we don't want to scare them off. And, you know, what if something could happen? What if I could change?
No, don't ever be like trying to change nobody.
No. If a person wants to just hook up or be like very casual, don't try to fucking change that, you know? Don't. Now, if you guys both go into like it being casual and something evolves from there, that's fucking different, you know?
Yeah, that is
different. Both had the same mentality going in, right? But if there's different mentalities going in,
It's not gonna work.
No.
And just being direct and upfront about what you want is gonna save you a lot of heartache and a lot of time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like the rest of what you said kind of falls into like everything we kind of just talked about.
Yeah.
Like gender roles and whatnot, society standards.
So, I mean, all I could say is keep on looking, girl, because I am too. We're both in it together because this dating is not, how you said, it's getting small. Like, I mean, there's
the dating pool just got smaller.
The dating pool is just not that great because it is hookup culture, you know? But I'm right in there with you, girl, because, yeah, it's a struggle bus.
Yeah.
You're lucky to be married. It's rough out in these streets. I'm dodging shit all the fucking time, bro.
I'm a very fortunate and lucky woman.
Yeah. Definitely. Everybody who's
and
out
very
there
grateful
in
for
a
that.
happy relationship, go hug your partner, you know, a little tighter today. Because
show them a little extra love.
Yes, because it's hard. It's hard being single nowadays. And I'm a hopeless romantic too. Mm-hmm. So that makes it even fucking worse. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm looking for marriage, you know, somebody I could get like married. I don't know why that sounded weird. Somebody I could form a very long-term relationship with. So it's even harder.
Yeah.
Very selective too.
But when you find them, like, it's just gonna make it all worth the why, you know?
Oh, definitely.
Because for all you know, like, right now, you're in, like, you know what they say is, like, stop focusing on trying to find the one and focus on being the right one, you know, and naturally you're going to attract somebody who is probably at the same level as you.
No, yeah. It's basically, yeah. And I think I've told you that. I told you something similar to that. It's like, I envision the person I want to be with and that I see myself, and I'm becoming that person because I feel like your partner is a reflection of you, you know, and
for all you know, maybe they're healing too, and they're going through their own.
And that's why we haven't found each other yet. Boo.
Exactly.
But if you're seeing this, I can't wait to meet you.
Oh, Lordy.
Ay, Dios mío.
All right, guys. I think we might have gone over a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, guys, what's our outro?
Make sure to follow us on La Lucha is Real podcast I can't speak.
You sounded like the McDonald's commercial. I'm loving it.
Hey. Sponsor us. Okay. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at La Lucha's Real podcast. Because we
Threads.
and Threads. We do fun polls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to follow our socials. Our personal socials are gonna be down below if you want to.
Yes, and don't forget to follow on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and subscribe on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Yeah. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. 5-star review.
5-star review.
5-star.
If you have anything else,
hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
5.
If you have anything else, slide into the DMs.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll see what's happening.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening there. All right, guys. Ahí los dejamos. Que tengan una semana bonita, right? Did I say that right? Una semana bonita?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, que Dios los bendiga.
Have a blessed week.
Yes. Besitos.
Bye.
Adios.